see you as. It's your Facebook picture. And if that makes sense, what our instrument gives back to you is the graph on the right. The graph on the right is less conscious behavior. In fact, let me do this. Let me have those of you that have your profile, if you just write next to the graph on the left, write game face. This is the game face you put on when you show up, when you're aware of your behavior, when you perceive yourself to be at your best. So just write the words game face. For the graph on the right, this is you unaware of your behavior. It happens when you're engaged in a hobby. Maybe some of you love your work so much that you lose track of time. You come back after lunch, you blink, it's 4:45. Wow! I was having so much fun, I didn't even realize that I just lost 3.5 hours. It doesn't happen to everybody. It often happens also if you're under stress. When you're under stress, you lose track of time. For the graph on the right, put you in pajamas. Because this is the you that wakes up in the morning that hasn't put your game face on yet. It's a neat way to think about it. And for a lot of us, there's kind of the work in the home metaphor. It's not exactly that way. Because some of us go home and we still operate in conscious behavior at home. And others of us come to work and we truly love what we do so much, we just lose ourselves, we lose track of time. So it's not always work at home, but psychologically, it's aware of your behavior, unaware of your behavior. It's game face on, and it's hanging out in your pajamas. Now the graph in the middle is unique to our instrument, and it's important, and it's the last piece of data that I really need to leave you with so that this makes sense. What happens for us to move from you in your pajamas to game face on is we literally make an internal movement to alter our personality to show up the way we think it will serve us best. That make sense? So if we start the day with 10% red energy, and we say, I think to go at work, my perception is higher red energy will serve me better. I'm going to crank it up. I'm going to be more determined, more competitive, more purposeful. And you crank it all the way up to 50% in the graph on the left, you'll have a big red spike up in the middle. So write one more word down for me. In this graph in the middle, write the word effort. The graph in the middle represents the effort that you're making to put your game face on. The more effort you make, the more tired you might be. But it's an individual answer for each of you. There's no right or wrong percentage. So in my example up here, this person woke up with almost no blue energy. But they said, well, I've got to go into work. I've got to manage detail. I've got to do some thoughtful analysis. I better crank up my blue energy. I better try and be more, what? Analytical, cautious, precise. So they crank it all the way up to 13%. All the way up to 13%. Guess what? 13 is not very high. But look at the effort this person is making in the graph in the middle. See the big blue spike? They're making a high effort to crank up their blue energy to be more analytical and cautious and precise at work. And the resulting number on the bottom, the resulting preference flow, it's not 0 to 100. So this might be one last thing I'll ask you to jot down. The range of answers is negative 66% to positive 66%. Actually 66.7. If you're at 35%, you're in the middle of the pack for the more than 1 million profiles that we've analyzed. Meaning 35% is about how much energy people are bringing forth to put on their game face to show up and do the work that they do. And if you have questions, and I'm sure that you might post this session, there'll be folks out here at the booth that can answer most of the questions for you as well. But hopefully what that does is put it in perspective. What we encourage you to do is take back the tools that you have. And if you take a look at the graph on the left, those of you that have the profile, that's how the tool is suggesting that you would stack the blocks. In this example, yellow on top, so you'd have the yellow hat, the yellow leg, as a great indicator of, hey, I like to be involved. Don't crush me with detail because it's not my thing. And that's the message you communicate to your coworkers. Let's do this. Let's try it quickly. What I want you to do is take a look at where you see yourself. If you have the preference flow, if you have the profile, do it. If all you have is the card, same thing. Think about the energy that you lead with, and think about the message that you're hoping to communicate to someone who works with you. Because that's what discovery is really about. Understanding the energies that you lead with, and how you operate and interact with others that you work with. okay? So with that in mind, what I want to keep in the forefront for you is the model that we talked about. And let me ask you this, just based on kind of walking through this model, how many of you think you have a slightly better sense of, from self-understanding, who you are, what makes you tick? Do you feel like you gained that? And now how about the people that you work with? Spouse, significant other. What's behind the way they operate with you? What can you go back and do tonight? I'll issue kind of a challenge. Don't go home with all your gear and say to your spouse, I lead with green, you never listen. I wish you did, no wonder it's so crazy, right? Don't do that. Go home and think about your spouse or significant other and where are they at? What could you do? What's the 5% move you can make that will make all the difference in that interpersonal communication? Because yes, it's understanding yourself, but then understand where they're coming from based on the model that I've given you, and then what will you do? Speed up, slow down, more detail, less detail. Very simple things that you can do. And those of you that have a profile, a lot of clues in there, isn't there? How about those of you that had a chance to read the profile in terms of the overview, the description? Just shout out for me as a percentage of accuracy, how well did it describe you? That's shouting it out? Come on, this is for everybody else in the room who hasn't done it.
98.
95, 98. There's a lot of meat there, isn't there? There really is. There's a lot of really good things that come out of that if you take a look at it. Because what's the final piece? What's the final part of our model? Take action. Do one last thing for me as we wrap up. On your table are stickers. Little circles. Everybody see them? If you're comfortable leading with one color energy for the rest of the conference, what I'd like you to do is just pop it on. Whoops. Don't tap the microphone. What I'd like you to do is put it on your name tag. And what you're sending is a message to other people. If you put yellow on your name tag, what's the message? Talk to me anytime about anything. If it's blue, what might the message be? You can still talk to me, but don't just gab off wildly. Let's talk about what's in front of us. Let's get strategic. Let's talk about detail. Let's talk about what we've learned. Right? Green energy. Talk to me, and make sure you give me time to talk as well. And how about red energy? You hear that? This gentleman said, I've got something to tell you. But think about it. Isn't that a great additional dynamic to better understand and communicate with each other? Let's do that, okay? Let's do that. If you're really dying to have two color energies represented, there's a lot of stickers on the table. Put them all over yourself in a way that says, here's who I am, here's how I'd like to communicate with all of you for the rest of the day. And if you'd like to learn more from us, we're out in a booth in the hallway, and we'd love to talk with you more about Discovery and all the other programs that we offer. Thanks so much. I'm going to be followed by